to grow even stronger. It too is a good organization that's had good leadership. It's a very, very young organization. Lots of things that will be very different. We have a staff of 400 here at the central office location. On February 15th, I'll have a staff of 6. Many people think I'm going to drive those poor 6 people crazy, but that will be different. And I suspect I'll have to learn how to do some real work now as opposed to just assigning a lot of real work. But I'm looking forward to having a focus of one industry, having a job that you can feel like you can get your arms around it. While I know it'll be a challenge, it will have some opportunities to do some different kinds of things, talk about different kinds of issues, and I look forward to that. The truth is that I will be a lot better state director 15 years from now than I am today. People will forget all the bad and hope only remember the good. I've had a really good time of relationships with our field. Not just the area school superintendents, but the comprehensive school people as well. I remember when I came in, I was the first state director without an ag background. Mr. Perkey and Dr. Tuttle both came from the field of vocational agriculture. And the ag teachers and our staff, even our ag leadership here, was convinced, because I came from the area school side, that I wouldn't have any interest in the comprehensive school programs or in ag specifically. But we've got more ag programs, more ag students than we had when I took this office. The area schools are by design different. It's one of our charms. If you drive from one school to the next, the buildings are different, the programs are different, the climate of the school is different, and the superintendents are all different. And that is one of the system's charms, but it's also one of the system's challenges. You don't get to be an area VOTEC school superintendent unless you've had some sort of ego injection along the way, and I've been one, and kind of know how they think and act and react. And so I think, the fact that I can communicate with them on their level, I think I've always let my work speak for itself, and they see the work we do. We have increased appropriations, we have increased enrollment, we have increased numbers of sites, we have increased relationships with higher ed or with the business and industry community. And I guess one of the things I love about vocational education is that we're results oriented, and I think our relationship with the area schools has been built on the basis of results. We've proven ourselves, our track record speaks for itself, and I have an abiding philosophy that vocational education is only as good as the welding program at Canadian Valley or the ag program at Gotebo. And until we ferret out and remove the low-end programs, we'll never have a great system. And that is done one program at a time, one school at a time. And area school superintendents tend to react to that kind of leadership and that kind of sense of wanting a high-quality system. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's, I didn't do much in my career accidentally, and I didn't do this accidentally. And as you know, I've worked very, very hard and sometimes a little bit too quickly the last year or so to get people in places and things aligned to where they are today. And when I leave here, I'm going to leave with comfort of knowing that the place is in pretty good shape. My advice is to keep the focus. It's so hard to do, and particularly during change of leadership, it's hard to do. People will take advantage of the transition. When I came to office, it was a deal a minute. I mean, people would come in and it'd be this deal, and you'd leave that person, and it'd be this deal. And I've heard, I've never been a banker, but I've heard that's what it's like whenever you open a new bank, that all the deadbeats come to the bank that have been turned down for loans and try to hustle a deal from you. And that'll happen again. There's a kind of a period of being vulnerable, and the leadership here will have to be really focused on what the mission is. Trick is not to get so focused that you get blindsided or that you miss opportunities. And you know, that leads to my sage advice, and that is to be yourself, to do what you believe is the right thing to do. Don't ignore the data, don't ignore the facts, don't ignore the trends, but be very conscious about the mission and the world, the changing world that we're in, and try to get all the stars in alignment as you make decisions. And you know, if you got good people and their heart's in the right place and they understand their field, they know where they've come from, they believe in what they're doing, good decisions will be made, and this agency and this system will be very strong in the future. This is probably getting close to true confession time. If one has a great level of intelligence, one can probably do differently than I've done. I don't mean that in any kind of a self-deprecating way. I don't think I'm a rocket scientist. I think I have a lot of intuition about people. I have a lot of experience. When I was 16 years old, I had 101 employees under my supervision, and have always, you know, had responsibility for people, and I just believe strongly that if it doesn't sound right, if it doesn't look right, doesn't smell right, it's probably not right. And you know, while I always want to look at the data and the trends and see which way the wind's blowing, I'm gonna do the gut check every time, and most of the time it works. I hope I'm remembered as someone with great integrity. You know, I don't profess to have always done the right thing by any means, but I've tried, and I've given the state and our education system in Oklahoma and my various places literally everything I've got. Worked hard, and they've given back a career of great enjoyment, great pride. I've had opportunities to do things and go places that most people will never have the opportunity to have experienced. And I hope they'll remember me as a person who always tried to improve the organization that they were leading. And, while you never want to change just for change's sake, I've been fortunate to be director during a period of time that change was critically important to make. And I think we've made the changes that needed to be made.